Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with another Reddit story for you. This one is a spicy story titled, Am I the Astronaut for Not Punishing My Daughter for What She Said? My husband and I are slightly more well off than my sister's family. Because of this, my parents do more for them than they do for us. When it comes to gifts, my daughter Maddie 7 gets things from the dollar store while my nephews get whole Lego sets, iPads, and even Disney trips. If my sister needs babysitting, they will drop everything for her last minute. If I need it, I have to give them a 2 weeks heads up as well as proper payment. Because of this clear favoritism, my daughter doesn't have a good relationship with them. If you ask her about her grandparents, her mind automatically goes to my husband's parents because she forgets that she has 2 pairs. Earlier today, we had a rare meetup with my parents. My daughter asked if she could go on the trampoline outside. My dad said no, it's for my nephews. What? The trampoline is off limits because it's for the other kids. Oh, cool. My daughter begged, but dad still said no. Maddie then stomps away and says, this is why I like other grandma and grandpa more. My parents looked at me expectantly, but I didn't do anything. I recently got off a call with my mom saying that I should have told Maddie that was wrong to say. I asked her, what do you expect? She thinks y'all hate her and y'all do nothing to dispel those thoughts. She just got quiet for a bit and then said I still shouldn't let her say something like that to family and hung up. My husband is on my side, but he also isn't a fan of my family, so I need an outside opinion. Am I the astronaut? Edit. I'll read this before we chat. Edit. To make some of you feel better, we don't bring her around them often. She only sees them on holidays with the rest of our extended family. We were only visiting today to get something I was left in a will. As for babysitting, I have only asked twice in extreme emergencies and they said no. I have talked to them about this, but they say it's not favoritism. She just needs less help because we are better off. Okay, we have an update. Before we get into that update, thoughts here. Yeah, it's definitely an NTA. The one thing at this point that bothers me, though, is that it doesn't sound like OP contested this issue until the daughter said what she said and her mom got upset. It's like, how is that the first time this is coming up? I would think, as a parent, you would bring this up well before it ever got to that point and be like, hey, why are you guys such ass bags? But that didn't happen. She talked to them after the fact. No, Goober, she's likely been treated like that herself her whole life and it isn't worth the effort. That's a good point. It could be that. It could be that this is too familiar for her. So her daughter's just getting it. But if your child's getting treated like that, I feel like it should embolden you more to take action because you know the injustice there. You understand the injustice there. Here's the update. I just got off the phone with my uncle. Apparently, Dad called him ranting about how disrespectful we are. Apparently, this all stems from my going to college. Dad said, since I had to be all hoity-toity and go to college, I shouldn't need his help and I should be living the easy life. What college did this guy go to? He also said, I'm selfish for trying to take help away from those who need it. Not sure what to think about all that. He's never brought up having a problem with that before. I'm going to discuss this with the rest of the family because with the holidays approaching, I don't want to cut everybody else out to avoid them. So I'm asking how they feel about all this. So now we have some more insight on Dad. And you know who we should get up here to talk about this? Let's do it. Let's get Candy Thunder up here to talk about this. Ladies and gentlemen, Candy Thunder once again. Oh my God.
I didn't know that going to college made you a hoity-toity.
Which either...
I did not get that from my college degree.
Yeah.
A lot of debt and nothing I could apply to my job.
Packaged
up in a nice bow.
I wonder if that means that Dad went to college and, you know, that's the way it was then. Like he went to college and then got job offers and then everything was easy. Or if he didn't go to college and his assumption about going to college is that she should be well off because she went.
That is a silly assumption because going to college does not automatically mean money. It depends on what you go to college for, I guess. But if you get a marketing degree, it does not mean money. I'll tell you that for free.
and that's why there's no money.
And I'm definitely not hoity-toity. That doesn't sound like fun at all.
Yeah, I think hoity-toity might be the old school term for bougie.
Okay. NTA, obviously, but I can't ever imagine treating like our kids differently. I mean, not differently, but I can't imagine like favoring one set of grandkids over the other in order to like make a point that I don't like the fact that you went to college. Like, even is that? that doesn't even make sense. Like my brain is like, that does not compute.
And then dad's kind of approach on everything feels like it is like I only have X amount of love to give. I only have X amount of resources to focus, and I've chosen to focus 98% of those on the person who I feel like needs it more, which as a parent just isn't true. Like your amount of love to give should grow as your family grows too. So
I do know someone, we both know someone whose family treats them like this. They worked hard, they got a job that pays them very well, and so their parents only give like love and attention to the grandkids of the child who is not doing as well. Like we've seen this happen. Yeah. And the person that it's happening to, like it bothers him and it makes him,
but he's powerless. Yeah,
like there's nothing you can do, and I don't think any amount of feedback that OP gives to her parents and like says this is what you're doing is going to change the outlook that they have on life. It's like they almost see her as like better than them, so therefore they have nothing to offer her. They're just going to give it everything to. But that's not true, because when it comes to grandkids, like it's not even about the gifts or whatever. Like in our family, like I feel like it's more about the time that they spend with them and the love that they give them. So I don't.
Well, I think at a certain point you understand that time is your most valuable and finite resource, and time equates to love much more than money does, right? So, or stuff. I mean, stuff is nice, I'm sure, but it's time means more than anything. So I think once you start being able to or willing to give that to, it's an investment. Like it's an investment of time. Anytime you're dedicating time, it is an investment in that direction, and they're willing to do it only for one set here, which is wild.
And it, to me, like, I think if your parent isn't giving you love, which it feels like they're not, like giving it to OP or OP's family, child included. Yeah. You always want that. Like you want to feel your parents' love. Like, and so I think going no contact and like giving up on that dream of like being loved by your parent is probably a lot harder than just saying like to go no contact. Damn. Because you know what I mean? Like it's like the same thing as the woman in the previous story, like having to give up the idea of having a baby. Like you're a big deal. You're grieving the loss of what you want your parents to be, and they can't live up to that. So you have to go no contact to like, and I feel like it should be easier for OP because she has a child. She's not just protecting herself. Right. She's protecting her child from feeling what she's feeling. But I think
you're right though. Shit. It's really easy for me to say their loss and move on. You know what I mean? It's easy for me to say that because, like we've talked about before, we're very fortunate with our family compositions that we come from. Like our parents and our families aren't a mess. Like we came from stable homes and happy families and parents who we still communicate frequently with. So it's easy for me to say, yeah, it's their loss. Tell them to go themselves and move on. But I don't understand that feeling of the yearning for something.
And neither, I don't either. So I do. And honestly, that didn't like hit me until we talked about the grieving the kid thing, and then it was already in my mind.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's something to keep in mind for no contact, is that I think it's much harder on the person going no contact.
The tree remembers what the axe forgets. Because even though they're the ones breaking contact, they're breaking contact because of damage that's been inflicted. It's like the tree just saying no moss.
Right.
I understand that I don't understand. I'll put it that way.
I'm just gonna go for the dad for just a minute. Like calling your child hoity-toity and saying that they're that way because they went to college and should be living an easy life is just you, Dad. Like for not seeing that she went to college and achieved something with her life. She went to college and now she's better than you, so therefore she doesn't need you all the way.
There we go. Candy Thunder sending them all the way up to AskCon 1.
I like to send people on trips. I like to send people to places.
There are lots of trips to be had on the stream deck here. Lots of buttons to choose from there.